Another year, another season of UEFA's club competitions. 2024-25 brings us the fourth season with 3 senior men's competitions. It's the 70th year of its top-tier competition, a 33rd under the UEFA Champions League name. It's the 54th year of the second-tier competition, the 16th under the UEFA Europa League name. And finally, it's the 4th year of UEFA's third-tier competition, going through a slight rebrand as the UEFA Conference League from this season onwards. 24-25 is a hugely significant year for UEFA club football though, with some major changes to the format. The group stages you previously knew are gone, replaced by a league phase, a total of 36 teams in each of the 3 competitions. There will be 8 match days to the UCL and UEL league phases, with 6 match days to the Conference League. Of the 108 total league phase participants, just 42 are known for certain, 29 in the UEFA Champions League, 13 UEFA Europa League, with no one guaranteed a league phase place to the Conference League yet. The first couple of months of this season will find us the other 66 total participants. Whilst the main stage format has changed to the 3 competitions, qualifying is still largely what it was before. 4 total rounds, a Champions path and a main/league path in places, later entry to clubs from higher-ranked nations. Defeat in a higher-tier competition sees you drop down to either the Europa League or the Conference League for a second chance. The draw to the first qualifying round ties took place in mid-June, with the first leg scheduled to between the 9th and 11th of July, and the second leg scheduled between the 16th and 18th of July. In total, across all 3 competitions, there are 90 teams taking part, 28 in the Champions League, 12 in the Europa League, and 50 in the Conference League. These teams represent a whole mix of lower-ranked nations, ranging from the champions of Romania and Bulgaria to the cup winners of San Marino and Andorra. The 90 teams that feature across Europe's first qualifying rounds are an interesting mix. Some of them are very familiar faces on the European stage, group stage regulars that have on occasions progressed to the latter stages of both the elite, secondary and tertiary competitions. Others are less familiar, sides that have upset the odds to make their European debut or make a return to continental competition after a long period away. From the total of 90 teams, I picked out 6 of notable interest, 2 from each of the 3 competitions. In this video, we're going to take a closer look at them and the story that has got them in the running for a place in the league phases. Working through in an alphabetical order, here are 6 teams to watch out for in UEFA's first qualifying rounds. Bruno's Magpies, Gibraltar, UEFA Conference League. Here's a literal pub team playing in Europe. Bruno's Magpies formed back in 2013, the idea of an 18-year-old who had been unable to join a football team on the Rock of Gibraltar. The club's name is a reference to his grandparents' bar, Bruno's, and the Magpies ending is a link to English club Newcastle United. Life for the Magpies began in Gibraltar's second tier, being a competitive outfit with mid-table finishes. It was after the introduction of a Gibraltar estate agent as sponsor that the club began to show a serious desire towards professional status and a pursuit of the top flight. They came close in 2016 and 2017 before winning the second division title in 2019 and joining the newly merged Gibraltar National League. They have since gone on to win the nation's primary cup competition, the Rock Cup, in 2022-23. 24-25 will bring the Magpies a 3rd straight Conference League campaign, first reaching the competition after a 4th place finish in 2021-22. So far, they've exclusively faced teams from Ireland, losing to Northern Irish club Crusaders and then Republic of Ireland side Dundalk in consecutive seasons, though they did win the first leg of their Crusaders tie 2-1 in front of 554 people. There's yet more Irish opposition for the Magpies in 2024, this time facing Republic of Ireland team Derry City in the first qualifying round. The first leg will be held in Gibraltar at Europa Point Stadium, a former cricket pitch that has been holding rugby since 2019 and has been a new temporary home for Gibraltar football since upgrading work at the start of the year. Get past Derry City and it'll be a meeting with Danish giants SC Copenhagen. Interclub de Scaldes, Andorra, UEFA Conference League. The Primera Divisio runners-up are one of 2 Andorran clubs playing in the Conference League first qualifying round, and both are from the exact same place. Inter were formed in 1991 within Escaldes Engordany, one of the 7 parishes that make up the Principality of Andorra and the 2nd largest by population. They were founding members of the Andorran top flight in 1995 and have spent all but 2 seasons in the league since. Inter are joined in this first qualifying round by Athletic Club de Scaldes, formed in 2002, and a team that are experiencing a second spell in the Primera Divisio after promotion in 2019. The Escaldes pair recently had a stronghold on Andorran league football. Inter won the first title in 2020, going on to win a 3 streak with victories in 2021 and 2022 as well. Athletic would follow that up by winning their maiden top-flight title in 2023. The duo have had to settle for second and third respectively this last season though, with UE Santa Coloma beating both to the trophy. Inter get the nod over Athletic on this list by being the more successful club with more European pedigree. Their debut came in 2020-21. They would win their first tie the following year when Faroese champions Habi Torshavn were beaten in the preliminary round semi-finals. Inter caught attention just last year when they won the first leg of their UECL second qualifying round tie against Scottish side Hibernian. Hibs would ultimately progress through 7-3 on aggregate though. It's Bosnian team FK Veles Mostar to start off 24-25 in Europe for Inter. Much like Athletic, they'll use Andorra's Estadi Nacional, one of the smallest national stadiums anywhere in the world, for their home leg. Athletic are hosts in the first week, with Inter being based there for the second leg of their tie. The winner of this clash meets AEK Athens in the second qualifying round. Larne, Northern Ireland, UEFA Champions League. Larne are a side from the east coast of Northern Ireland who in the last few years have upset the apple cart at the top of the NIFL. The club dates back to 1889, but the real story of their recent success starts in 2018. It was then that a team with dwindling crowds and a lowly position in the championship was taken over by Kenny Bruce, co-founder of the online estate agency Purple Bricks. Bruce provided a promise of investment to the squad and facilities that would send Larne to the top end of the pyramid, and has duly delivered on that promise. Larne were promoted to the Premiership in 2019 and immediately started competing in the top half of the top flight table. The European debut came in 2021-22, with Larne progressing to the third qualifying round of the UEFA Conference League after beating Welsh side Bala Town and Danish club AGF Aarhus. Having lifted their maiden Irish League title in 2023, they would win last year's title by 5 points to reach the UEFA Champions League qualifiers for a second year in a row. Finnish team HJK sent them out with an extra time aggregate victory 12 months ago. This is attempt 2 to win a UCL tie. Larne will face off against Latvian champions FKRFS in the first qualifying round. They are hosting the second leg of the tie at Inver Park, their historic home for over a century. The land of the small ground was purchased back in 1918, with notable upgrades in the Kenny Bruce era, including work on 3 new stands, a new artificial pitch, and the installation of floodlights. The winner of this tie has a 2-legged affair with Norwegian title holders Bøder Glimt. Paksi, Hungary, UEFA Europa League. Paksi, or Parks the Short, are a more than 70-year-old club based in Parks, a town of around 18,000 in southern Hungary. The team's nickname, Atomskabat, nuclear team, comes from Paksi being the home of Hungary's only nuclear power plant. Starting out at county level in the 1950s, Paksi have ascended the pyramid over the second half of the 20th century, reaching the Hungarian top flight in 2006. It is a division they have remained in ever since, finishing as high as second in 2010-11 and 2023-24, and finishing as low as 14th in 2009-10. Using a green and white coloured scheme that's common with several major Hungarian clubs, Paksi are best known for their policy of only signing Hungarian players. Their entire squad, board of directors and backroom staff are exclusively people with Hungarian citizenship, among them being goalkeeper Peter Japanos, who went to Euro 2024 with the national team. 2023-24 brought about Paksi's most successful season ever. Though champions Ferencváros finished 16 points ahead of them in the league table, the Atomic Club beat them 2-0 after extra time in the Magyar Kupa final, handing them their first major silverware since winning the now-defunct League Cup back in 2011. 24-25 hands Paksi a second European campaign, their previous being in the Europa League in 2011-12. They beat UE Santa Coloma of Andorra and got past Norwegian club Tromsø before losing 5-2 on aggregate to Heart of Midlothian in the third qualifying round. Paksi's return to the continent sees them face Corvinal Hunedoara. They'll host the first leg at their Fehervari Uti Stadion, a small ground of around 6,000 capacity that dates back to 1966 and has held its current look since a 2020 reconstruction. Win that tie and they'll be up against HNK Rijeka of Croatia in the second qualifying round. Virtus San Marino, UEFA Champions League. You can't do a video on the earliest rounds of UEFA competition and not give a mention to the enigma that is San Marino. What's great is that this season's UCL qualifying participant is a completely new face. Associazione Calcio Virtus are based in Acquaviva. the most northwestern of the 9 castelli that make up the Republic of San Marino. The club in green and black have been around for 60 years with very little success until very recently. After winning the Coppa Titano in 2022-23, Virtus pipped La Fiorita in 23-24 to win the Campionato Sammarinese di Calcio for the first time ever. It's handing Virtus a first venture into European football, their previous best league finish being a runners-up spot back in 1988. The tie looks a brutal one. Record Romanian champions FCSB, the modern-day naming of a club with a complex story. The National San Marino Stadium in Serravalle will be Virtus' home venue for the first leg before they head out to Bucharest. Maccabi Tel Aviv of Israel are the second qualifying round opponents for the winner of this tie. Wisła Kraków, Poland, UEFA Europa League. Wisła Kraków are far from an unfamiliar name. 13-time Polish champions, 5-time winners of the Polish Cup, European Cup quarter-finalists back in 1979. Wisła last played in Europe in 2011-12, dropping from the Champions League into the Europa League group stage and ultimately reaching that season's round of 32. They are back in Europe for the first time in 13 seasons as the latest winner of the Polish Cup. What you may not be aware of though is that Wisła have made it back whilst being a second-tier side. Wisła had enjoyed a really successful period under the owners of Capital Group Telefonica. The sale of the club to Jakub Mierzynski in 2016 was the start of decline, financial difficulties and concerns around the club's eligibility to play in the Ekstraklasa. It would culminate in relegation in May 2022, the first time the Krakow Giants would play outside the top flight since 1996. It's been 2 unsuccessful attempts at bouncing back so far, eliminated in the playoffs in 22-23 and finishing at the bottom of a tight pack in 10th in 23-24. The White Star did enjoy cup success though, beating Lechia Gdańsk, Polonia Warsaw, Stal Rzeszów, Widzew Łódź, Piast Gliwice and Pogoń Szczecin on their way to the trophy. Wisła have Kosovar opposition in the first qualifying round, a 2-legged tie against KF Larpe. They'll host the first leg at the UEFA Category 4 home, Stadion Miłocki im Henryka Reymana, named after club legend Henryk Tomasz Reyman, and able to hold 33,326 people. Austrian side SK Rapid Wien await the winner. That was 6 teams to watch out for in UEFA's first qualifying rounds. Thank you for watching. Please be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to the Matchday Man for future videos. There's plenty more teams to dive into as the qualifying rounds progress. I'll see you then.